Shit, internet apologists tweeted one time briefly. Internet apologists say. So we'll do both, but
Sure.
I've got this tweet here that's from Reverend. I don't want to give him any celebrity, but it's about the Trump-Putin summit, and it's I'm grateful President Trump and Putin met, and anything positive is a miracle answer to the prayers of faithful, spirit-filled Christians. Keep praying as you watch the endless spear throwing in the media. Remember, true believers are engaged in spiritual warfare. And the reason I want to bring this up is not necessarily because what summit were you watching, but because at a certain point, like, is it more difficult for people to engage in like regular conversation because their vocabulary is so weighed down with words like spirit-filled and spear throwing? And like, it's amazing. There's like an entire dialect.
The whole language.
Yeah. How bright is your countenance and crap? I don't know. I'm intrigued by this. Am I the only one that cares or is interested in like how do these people talk to each other at all?
No, but that's not really the question that I got from that statement.
Well, what would you get for that?
I was thinking, okay,
what was your takeaway?
What is their end goal? I mean, we know what it is, but it's worth asking anyway.
Mm-hmm.
What do they think we're going to get out of all of this bullshit?
Jesus?
The return of Christ?
Right,
maybe?
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Armageddon.
Yeah. Stick it to the liberals.
Apocalypse.
Yeah.
The rapture is going to happen, and all the Republicans in the United States are going to be lifted, and everyone else will be left behind.
And you know
we'll have
what?
a great big party.
I was going to say,
for their departure.
I am okay with. I think I will be okay with that.
Yeah.
They look forward to that with such glee.
Right.
Of course, strangely, I do too.
Me too. I'm not worried about being left behind. Earth isn't all that bad.
I mean, so long as we don't nuke the place first, because then Earth would be slightly less enjoyable.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it always threw me off. It's God gave Earth and animals to humans to take care of, which means it's okay for us to trash them and we don't have to care, is a line of...
Right, apparently.
I never understood. Like, I'm not going to lend them my lawnmower.
We can't even take care of ourselves.
Nope.
I think we failed.
So the main item in my... shit internet apologists say this week is that Paula White, who is a spiritual advisor to our president, who evidently has a whole host of spiritual advisors. It's fine. Okay, I'm powering through. I'm not sad. There's a difference between Jesus as a refugee and those who enter the U.S. illegally.
Wow.
Brace yourselves.
Jesus
requires us to draw severe distinctions.
Is that a song? Is that if that's not an actual song?
No, it's running like a refugee, I think.
I'm just musically illiterate. So, amid the hysteria, this is from the Christian Post, so that's the slant you're going to hear here. Amid the hysteria surrounding the separation of immigrant families who recently entered the United States illegally, one of President Donald Trump's spiritual advisors, Paula White, is speaking out in support of stronger border laws and explains the difference between Jesus and a refugee and those who break immigrant laws. White recently visited the Youth for Tomorrow facility in Bristow, Virginia, a foster facility that is taking care of several unaccompanied immigrant children who were trafficked into the United States from countries like Honduras, Guatemala, and El Salvador. After visiting the center, White told CBN News, I think that's Christian Broadcasting Network, News, in an interview that aired on Monday, that what is being portrayed by much of the media is misleading. She also said that some people are taking biblical scriptures out of context.
Oh, really?
If you're playing the drinking game at home, that is a cue.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Had alcohol.
Man.
After the show, apparently.
Yeah.
In my trunk.
Yeah.
When out of context when debating the issue. White was asked by CBN's national security correspondent, Eric Rosales, if there were any biblical scriptures that came to mind during her visit. She replied, Quote, I think so many people have taken biblical scriptures out of context on this to say stuff like, well, Jesus was a refugee. Yes, he did live in Egypt for 3.5 years, but it was not illegal. If he had broken the law, then he would have been sinful and he would not have been our Messiah. She also described, which is an amazing convoluted, like, oh, anything that's illegal is a sin.
Wow.
And like, it wasn't, I don't even.
Yeah.
Anything that's
Do
illegal
they really want to
is
go
a
there?
sin?
Well, I mean, if you're saying, oh, but he wasn't illegal because if he'd broken the law, then he would have been sinful. That's the logical conclusion of that, clearly. It's like, whatever. I don't know. She's tying herself in knots, and I'm not there to
untie her?
To pick them apart?
I don't, that sounds
to solve
much.
the puzzle?
To solve the puzzle, yeah, that sounds much dirtier than it is. She also described the center she visited as amazing and beyond phenomenal.
Well, then let's send all our American kids to those ones.
Yeah.
See what
Sounds like
happens.
unicorns and rainbows.
If it's
Let's
beyond
go.
phenomenal, it's certainly...
I think we found where Trump is getting some of his words.
I mean, we're doing such a great job at
phenomenal
advertising.
has too many syllables.
We're doing as good a job at advertising these centers for illegal immigrant children as Nazis did for concentration camps for Jews. So
Yeah, pretty much. Although I think that's part of the point, is just to discourage anyone from trying to immigrate here. Like, a lot of this is, I don't know. I'm doing my best not to be overly political, but an anti-immigration of any kind agenda.
But I just want to take a sign that says seeking asylum is not illegal and hammer it into the head of all these people with a freaking nail.
Or staple it to the forehead.
Yeah. With something. I don't know. Oh, God. It goes on. Brace yourselves.
I'm sure it does.
It is. Hold in your rage.
They love hearing their own voice.
Quote, they care for the children, end quote, said White, who's also the senior pastor at New Destiny Christian Center in Apopka, Florida. I think I'm pronouncing that right. I don't know.
That's why they take them from their parents' arms. Yes.
Yeah.
They care for them.
Care. We care as long as we can separate you and make your life miserable. Quote, not just 3 square meals, psychiatric care, clinician, medical care, chapel, which is the opposite of care, events, schooling, language, and love. She said that each child is given an assessment when they arrive, which includes medical and debt evaluation. White explained that she learned while visiting the center just how many unaccompanied children are in debt to human traffickers who smuggled them into the U.S. White said that at the center she visited, all of the children face some sort of debt, totaling between $3,000 to as much as $10,000, because they have been smuggled. She also said there are cases in which parents had mortgaged their homes or put their land up to pay for their child's trafficking. These were unaccompanied minors, she was quoted as saying. If we are going to be compassionate, we have to have stricter border security and laws. She almost had it. She almost had it there. These are unaccompanied minors. If we're going to be compassionate, we have to. And then she went the other way. Yeah, she was so close.
Okay. Are they unaccompanied perhaps because the parents got arrested?
Probably. I don't know. I mean, I think it's the ones that come here unaccompanied is what they're talking about. But they definitely... They're definitely making a lot of the minors that come here with their family unaccompanied, separating them.
She doesn't seem to know the definition of compassion. Compassion means to suffer with someone. So she's looking at these kids and she's like not seeing what they're going through. She doesn't even acknowledge what they're going through. She cares more about stricter laws.
Okay, I'm mystified though. What is this stuff about debt?
Oh, you have to pay.
Who owes who?
The child or the child's family needs to pay the person that illegally transported them into the United States, that smuggled them in.
Are we supposed to see to it that they get paid?
No.
Then what is the debt to us?
Well, there isn't, but it's a debt. Like she's like, oh no, they're going to have to pay the person that trafficked them into the country, and deporting them is going to ensure that they definitely have to pay that. But
they haven't already been paid?
No, I don't know.
Is that how traffickers work? Oh, half up front and half once the child's delivered? No.
I am sure that every illegal trafficker that takes advantage of people in need, particularly children and unaccompanied minors, is fair-minded.
Oh, yeah.
We have very reasonable payment plans. That's what every
they pay their taxes and everything on it. Yeah. What the hell?
I mean, actually, if you give
us
long enough...
What has their debt got to do with squat all?
I don't know. Actually, if you tried to explain this as a tax issue and you were like, oh, no, this is a business and this is government trying to regulate it, we might get a Republican Congress to approve it in defense of business. Like...
Right.
Yeah. These hard-working smugglers or traffickers are just trying to earn a fair wage, human trafficking.
Right.
And the big bad U.S. government...
They're trying to have a career here, people.
Is seizing their merchandise. Gross.
Like, I steal children from different countries. Like, that's a great job title.
Can I take this back to the part where she said that they were taking the Bible out of context?
Yes, please.
As long as you don't take that part out of context. Okay. Sorry, what were you saying?
No, just I'm wondering how she doesn't think she's taking the Bible out of context in every other way anyway.
Well, because she's right.
Yeah, and everyone else is wrong.
Yeah.
Because she uses the Holy Spirit to interpret the Bible. How does she know it's the Holy Spirit?
Yeah.
She says it is.
Yeah.
So therefore, she is right.
She is right.
Yeah. Yeah. Wouldn't it be nice if you could actually know things that easily?
You know,
instead of having
what we need for things like this is that bit out of, what was it, Annie Hall, where the characters were in a movie line somewhere and they were offering their opinions of what the director intended. And then one guy goes, well, we'll just ask him, and pull the guy out of the line who happens to be a director of this movie and asks him, what were you thinking when you made this red? And he goes, it was just a color,
One day I would love if one day someone accuses me of taking like Harry Potter out of context.
Yes. But yeah, if you could just drag God in and say, well, God, what did you actually mean by this passage in the Bible? And God could then offer his... That would be nice. But
I can do the same thing, asking Harry Potter to come out of the book, and guess what? I'm thinking we're going to have the same fucking results.
Wait, are you telling me that you can get Daniel Radcliffe to come here? Because that would be amazing.
I said Harry Potter.
That is Harry Potter.
No.
Yes.
Books over movies, child.
But he's real. Actually, I agree.
So
in the movies, he just comes across as a whiny... Sorry,
what's her name?
Hermione.
No.
J.K. Rowling.
J.K. Rowling.
Rowling, yes, thank you.
Rowling.
You're drag J.K. Rowling. Say, what did you mean?
What did you mean?
What did Harry Potter mean when he said
this character is gay? It's like, oh, really? Well, that's super progressive of you to have a character in there that literally spent 7 books in the closet and then wait and then wait
so after
and then
the
wait
series is over
and then wait and then after 7 movies and then wait some more and then everyone is legalizing gay marriage and oh, by the way, it was progressive the whole time. You failed.
I had to come out of the closet too.
Yeah.
Wow.